Three, two, one.
The Cookie Thief. A woman was waiting at an airport one night, with several long hours before her flight. She hunted for a book in the airport shops, bought a bag of cookies, and found a place to drop. She was engrossed in her book but happened to see that the man sitting beside her, as bold as he could be, grabbed a cookie or two from the bag in between, which she tried to ignore to avoid a scene. So she munched the cookies and watched the clock. As the gutty cookie thief diminished her stock, she was getting more irritated as the minutes ticked by, thinking, if I wasn't so nice, I wouldn't blacken his size. With each cookie she took, he took one too. When only one was left, she wondered what he would do. With a smile on his face and a nervous smile, laugh, he took the last cookie and broke it in half. He offered her half as he ate the other. She snatched it from him and thought, "Oh, brother, this guy had some nerve and he's also rude. Why he didn't even show any gratitude?" She had never known when she had to be gulled, and sighed with relief when her plate was cold. She gathered her old belongings and headed to the gate, refusing to look back at the thieving integrate. She boarded the plane and sank in her seat. Then she thought her book, which was almost complete. As she reached in her baggage, she gasped with surprise. There was a bag of cookies in front of her eyes. If mine are here, she moaned in despair. The other were his, and he tried to share. Too late to apologize, she relieved with grief that she was the root one, the integrated dative. The cookie thief. A woman was waiting at an airport one night, with several long hours before her flight. She hunted for a book in the airport shops, bought a bag of cookies, and found a place to drop. She was engrossed in her book but happened to see that the man sitting beside her, as bold as could be, grabbed a cookie or two from the bag between, which she tried to ignore to avoid a scene. So she munched the cookies and watched the clock. As the gutsy cookie thief diminished her stock, she was getting more irritated as the minutes ticked, thinking, if I wasn't so nice, I wouldn't black his eye. Which cookie she took? He took one. When only one was left, she wondered what it would be. With a smile on his face, a nervous laugh, he took the last cookie and broke it in half. He offered her half as he ate the other. She snatched it from him and both thought, "Oh, brother, this guy has some nerve. He is also rude. Why, he didn't even show any gratitude." She had never known what she had been so gulled, and sighed with relief when her flight was cancelled. She gathered her belongings and headed to the gate, refusing to look back at the giving integrate. She boarded the plane and sank in her seat. Then she sought her book, which almost complete. As she reached in her baggage, she gasped with surprise. There was her bag of cookies in front of her eyes. If mine are here, she moaned in despair. The others were his, and he tried to share. Too late to apologize, she realized with grief that she was rude to one, the ingrated, the thief. Now let us talk about the British accent. The vowel tends to be a bit more conservative than other accents in southern England, which have undergone significant vowel shifting over the past century. Non-reciticity, meaning the R at the end of the word isn't pronounced, such as mother sounds like mother. So let us talk about the Japanese accent. English has syllables that are emphasized through a system of stress timing, while Japanese has moras, each of each of which is roughly the same length. Generally, moras consist of two segments, C and V, but can consist of only one, two, V or N. This makes the language very evenly stressed, and moras are emphasized with pitch accent. That is the part of the world. It may explain why some Japanese NNS of English may be inclined to put the emphasis on the wrong syllable at time.